Yo, what's good with y'all, man? Okay, welcome back to another video for the channel. Alright, today, I see it, bro. We got top 10 new games for 2025. There's a lot of games coming out, bro. Only game I'm worried about is GTA 6, bro. Like, only game I'm worried about is GTA 6. But knowing them, they're probably gonna make it come out like December 28th, 2025. Knowing them, bro. We're gonna check it out, see what type of games coming out. Alright, let's get into it, bro.
We are on the brink of a new year, and with the new year comes new games. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, the top 10 new games of the first half of 2025. At number 10,
I've been pronouncing it Gamer Ranks this whole time.
Fire Civilization 7, the latest 4X extravaganza from Firaxis Games. Now, I'm not going to say this is like a major departure for Civilization, but they've added quite a few interesting things. First, ages. You have antiquity, exploration, and modern periods. In between each, there's crisis points where you have to decide what elements that you keep from the previous age as you move into the next. I do think that's a pretty cool sounding idea. It also is going to allow you to do some weird alternate history stuff. An example I have seen in the leaders in civilization swapping, like Benjamin Franklin of revolutionary United States fame building the Great Wall of China. At the heart of it, though, it's still Civilization. If you like previous games, I'm sure you're not going to be particularly out in the cold with what's going on here. But these are some interesting ways of mixing up the formula that I think honestly sound good. They could not be good. I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, great ideas can be executed well, and bad ideas can turn out better than you expect. So we'll have to wait for the pudding to see if the proof is in it. Civilization 7 is coming to
I've never
PC.
heard anybody say
when
it
I
like
say
that.
PC, I mean Windows, Mac, and Linux. It's coming to the PlayStations, the Xboxes, and Nintendo Switch as well, all on February 11th.
This is the trailer, though.
At number 9 is Astra Corsa Evo. You might be aware of the beloved racing simulator. It's a franchise that's been going on a while. This is the open world one. The map they've created for this one is supposedly over 600 square miles. It takes place in Nürburgring. It's real world terrain, supposedly. I don't know if it's 600 square miles of Nürburgring that are specifically recreated, or if it's areas that have been combined into a map. I don't know that. I do know that the developers have a proprietary engine that they have been working on. This game's going to have a day-night cycle, dynamic weather, and apparently advanced vehicle physics. Now, as you know, vehicle physics are kind of lackluster in racing games as a whole now, whether that's arcade or simulation. So I'm interested to see exactly what they mean by enhanced vehicle physics. This one's going to have VR support as well, which I think is a good thing. Assetto Corsa Evo is coming to PC via early access, at least at first. It is going to land on PS5 and Xbox Series later, but January 16th is where you're going to see it pop up on Steam.
You can never go wrong with the car game, bro. Car games, I swear. Like,
and number 8 is the first Berserkercin, a action RPG developed by Neopol, or Neopol. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to say nipple, though. They're not going to make me. It's published by Nexon, though. It's allegedly a hardcore action RPG, and it's set in the Dungeon Fighter Online universe. Dungeon Fighter Online has been going since 2005, although we in the West didn't get it till 2015, 10 years in. This is a single-player game. It is a prequel set 800 years before what you can do in Dungeon Fighter Online now, and it's about the first Berserker,
animated
Kazan. It's kind of a cool idea, and if it turns out to be, I would guess this will become a franchise pretty quickly. On account, Dungeon Fighter Online's been going for nearly 20 years at this point, has a built-in audience, and a lot of those people also like single-player games, me in particular. I have played Dungeon Fighter Online. I don't ongoingly play Dungeon Fighter Online, but I'm familiar enough that this definitely piques my interest, and also the footage looks pretty sweet. The first Berserkercin is coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC on March 27th. However, if you want to play it earlier and without paying any money, a demo is coming out on January 16th, and all the save data is transferable to the full game. I love that companies are doing this, to be frank. It's something that gets me in the door immediately. I am supportive of it. Like, demo culture was basically gone for a very long time there, and it really provides a good way to get people into your game. The flip side is you have to prove it's a good game, but for consumers, that's obviously great. I'm pretty excited about this one. First Berserkercin looks pretty cool. Moving on to
what he was about to do to him is
flip
insane.
side is you have to prove it's a good game.
Look at what he was about to do to him, bro.
But for consumers, that's obviously great. I'm pretty excited about this one. First, Berserkercin looks pretty cool. For consumers, that's obviously great.
Nah, bro. This combo is insane, bro. Grabs him.
Pretty excited about this.
Spins him up in like primary Lotus. Nah.
Cool. Moving on to number 7, it's Killing Floor 3. The latest installment in the co-op first-person shooter series.
3, okay.
This one actually takes a pretty big jump where Killing Floor 1 and 2 are set in the sort of near future. This one jumps to 2091. And the reason for that is to plop you into a more dystopian, crazier world where Horizon
I remember when they had futuristic games set in like 2024, 2028. Like, bro, and now look at this. We're already there. And none of that stuff. We don't got no flying cars. What year was Advanced Warfare? Hold on. That's only 30 years later from now. We're not gonna have it.
Enemy AI is. Now, it's probably a result of all the AI hype, but if that gives us good NPCs/enemy AI in games, I'm all for it. I don't care why, I just care that it's happening. But here's some good news for everybody who's got buddies with different consoles or platforms. Killing Floor 3 is going to have 6-player co-op, and it's cross-play across all of the platforms it's on, so PS5, like Xbox Series, and PC. It doesn't have an exact date, but Killing Floor 3 is going to land in March. I'm pretty excited for it. It looks great. Looks like a big upgrade, and who wouldn't want that? And number 6 is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. As you know, the original game has gotten a lot of praise, acclaim for being a very immersive and realistic game. It doesn't look like they're switching direction. In fact, it looks like they're even more leaning into that commitment to realism. And I particularly like that they're doing that in the combat mechanics, as opposed to just being like, well, it's more unforgiving, and that's more realistic. They're talking about the swordplay being much more fluid. They're talking about refining the archery system. And as a byproduct, they might be a little less forgiving. But the idea is to make them more realistic as opposed to just harder. I don't know. Some developers seem to have this weird belief that harder equals more realistic, and that's definitely not true. We'll see if it ends up being harder. I don't know. This one's actually got 2 distinct maps, so the world is quite a bit bigger. In fact, nearly double, because both maps are apparently roughly the size of the original's single map. I don't know, in a lot of ways, it really seems like this is a large upgrade from the first game. And if you enjoyed the first game, I'm sure it's going to be worth playing when it comes to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, February 4th. 5, it's Adam
They showed
Fall,
that one clip twice. I know what they are.
Action game by Rebellion.
I know what they're doing.
This one's set in alternate history, 1960s Britain, where things went awry following the 1957 Windscale nuclear disaster. A real event, but also the point of divergence for the alternate history of the game.
Yo, I love
it's 5 years later.
Games where it's like obviously in the past, but it's like futuristic past. It's so cool. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
It's a little more oriented towards the sort of crafting and survival elements. It's not like a sandbox,
like a futuristic
1950s. At least from the looks.
Games like that'd be hard.
The combat looks fairly even-handed between melee and ranged, and looks nothing like Stalker. Like I said, the setup's kind of similar sounding, except for in Britain. But the game doesn't look particularly similar. Adam Fall is going to land on the PlayStations, the Xboxes, PC, and Xbox Game Pass on March 27th. Moving on to number 4, it's Assassin's Creed Shadows, the 14th major installment of the, storied series. Let's be clear, there are some that are better than others. This game is stirring up.
I played every Assassin's Creed game.
But if you look into what they're actually trying to do with it, I'm interested in the outcome more than
I feel like they really lost the plot after a while, bro. Like, I feel like with Origins,
Ubisoft has been saying they're leaning
I feel like after
Assassin's Creed style
was it Syndicate?
Which is kind of
that
what
what
I
it
want
was?
to see in Assassin's Creed.
Bro, I feel like after that, bro, they just lost the plot heavy, bro. Like, I did not like Origins. I feel like it just like the way it played was not Assassin's Creed. You feel me?
Between old school and new school, leaning a little bit closer to old school. I think Mirage is probably a pretty good precursor as to what exactly they're doing here. You got more stealth, more assassination, more parkour focus. They're saying that the story missions are going to be a little more linear and focused, while at the same time putting you on a pretty big map. You got Kyoto, Osaka, Iga. You got lots going on. Like I said, they've been describing it basically as what I want from Assassin's Creed at this point. So despite whatever arguments people are having about it, it has the potential to be a good game. Now, again, I will say that doesn't mean it's going to be a good game. However, I have some hopes for it, and I will definitely be playing it. Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's going to be coming to PS5, Xbox, PC, and
hey, bro, I'm ready
iPad,
for this game, bro.
Like I said, on Valentine's
I'll play it's gonna
Day.
be
So
top
happy
10.
Valentine's.
No cap.
And number 3 is Avowed, a first-person RPG coming to us from Obsidian, taking place in the Pillars of Eternity universe. I'll go ahead and say this. I'm just basically completely excited at the prospect of the people who were in charge of New Vegas making a game that looks somewhat like Skyrim. Not necessarily entirely, obviously. There's a lot of specifics to Pillars of Eternity that I'm sure will set it apart. And it's also not just a full-on open-world game. I think it's more of an open zone game. I don't know how, but Sonic Frontiers actually managed
this game looks like it got
so
a lot in it, bro.
Zone. But I guess it's actually a decent description of what it is. They're not levels, but it's not an open world. An open level doesn't sound right. Level implies a certain amount of linearity, so I don't know why I'm getting hung up on this. Avowed looks great. It's Obsidian doing this type of a game. There's factional stuff that we know is going on, and allegedly you're going to have the same kinds of meaningful choices that you might expect from New Vegas. And again, if you like Skyrim, look at the game. There are things here that will appeal to you. This is a game that I'm pretty excited for, although I'll say
that dude was
it's
going
very
crazy.
Easy
You
for
saw
me
him
to get
spinning?
confused with certain other games that kind of have this aesthetic, and they all didn't do that great. So I'm really going to be trying to wipe the slate clean as I go into Avowed, because it's done by people who have made this type of game very well in the past, as opposed to a lot of the other games that have kind of looked like this, but they're really just somebody trying to make a game that either cashes in on the aesthetic or ideas of Skyrim. This goes way further than that. Avowed's coming February 18th to Xbox Series and PC.
Interesting.
Along with day one access on Game Pass. Definitely a must-play for me. And number 2 is Split Fiction, a co-op adventure game coming from Hazelight Studios, the creators of It Takes Two. And obviously,
I saw
this.
This is going to be tough.
That game. In this one, you take
all I needed to hear
the
was It
roles
Takes
of
Two, bro.
Neo and Zoe, who are two different writers,
tough.
A science fiction writer and a fantasy writer. And basically, it takes them through an adventure that you could probably figure out exactly what it is.
This is going to be tough.
Combines both worlds and makes them have to collaborate. I don't know. Actually, a pretty good idea for an adventure game. Something else that I think is really cool, you have to play it co-op, obviously. It's a split-screen game. But they're doing something pretty cool here called the Friends Pass. If you want to play the game with a friend and they don't own the game, you can invite them to join the adventure. And it doesn't matter what platform they've got. It's all cross-platform. And frankly, that's cool as shit. The game's coming out on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC
This is going
March
to be
6th.
hard, bro.
And finally, at number 1 is Monster Hunter Wilds. I mean, this is going to be a big one. It's kind of hard to avoid Monster Hunter. Now, this is a game that's not
Monster Hunter
known for its story.
Is good. I don't know if this game is
gameplay,
connected with it.
And it looks like they're advancing a lot of it. I'm very happy with the direction they're taking, because Monster Hunter World is this big, sprawling thing. It does a great job at everything that it does. And then they released Monster Hunter Rise a little bit later for Switch, and then ported it to PC. And it has a slightly more vertical approach. And it looks like they're taking these sort of Monster Hunter World base and moving it in the Rise direction. That, to me, automatically gets me in the door, because I really enjoyed Monster Hunter Rise.
I never really played it, but
it's not that I didn't enjoy World. I actually love the hell out of World, but it's pretty old at this point. And Monster Hunter Rise, to be frank, looks like it's older than Monster Hunter World because it was designed firstly for Switch. Wilds just looks like a worldified Rise, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying smart things here or not. We got cross-platform 4-player cooperative multiplayer, so I mean, this is going to be a fun one for you and your buddies. And it will be landing on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC February 28th. I do have a quick bonus game for you. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta is allegedly coming out the first half of 2025. If you're unaware, it's a full remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, including all the original voice cast. Allegedly, there's a couple of new lines from a few people, but it's not like a re-recording of the whole game. It mainly preserves the original. And obviously, it's a much better looking game uses Unreal Engine 5, but allegedly they're doing everything possible to maintain the gameplay, at least with some modern quality of life conveniences. I'm personally super excited for when it lands on PS5, Xbox Series, and Windows.
I haven't played the third one, so
first half. I don't want to wait that long for it. It looks great. I do have hopes that this does well, and they decide, maybe all of the Metal Gear Solids deserve this treatment. Hell,
they need to do this, bro. They need to do this to a lot of games, bro.
Metal Gear Solid
I'm telling you, they just don't want money.
Too, maybe. Yeah, get David Hayter as
they need
the
to
voice again,
completely redo Bully.
That type of thing. Anything is possible when it could provably make a lot of money, right? Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, if you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do.
Bro, I'm telling you, they need to remaster, revamp the graphics for a lot of games, bro. I'm telling you, the money that they would get, come on, bro. But hey, man, if I did enjoy this video, don't be afraid to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm very excited for the games coming out 2025, bro. I need another trailer, another date for GTA 6, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna keep saying this. GTA 6, bro. They've had multiple freaking decades for that game, bro. Okay? That's going to be game of all time. I'm excited. Tune into the next video, alright? Catch y'all. Peace.